So I'm reading this article and it's titled, They Want to Be the Gatekeepers. Car dealers are stopping customers from buying EVs. This is a Jalopnik read. They put it up on Monday and says car dealerships are resisting the transition to electric vehicles. Now, it's interesting how they set this up, what it actually means, and real life examples and experiences that I've come across myself. Now, I summarize this article and I'm going to share with you the summary that I have put together here. And it says that the article from the Washington Post highlights the challenges faced by U.S. car dealerships in transitioning to electric vehicles or EVs. Many customers have reported dealers trying to steer them towards gas cars, providing unclear or incorrect information about EVs. Now, this issue is significant considering the U.S. government's goal for 2/3 of new cars sold by 2032 to be electric and the substantial investment automakers have made in EV technology. But the dealerships are not, I don't think the dealerships are excited about this at all. And I think that they see the writing on the wall with the direction that the automotive industry is going. And it doesn't include them, at least not in the same capacity that it has in the past that produced bukus of revenue and profit. Now, this article in particular actually shows a Ford F-150 Lightning, which, folks, I have my own thoughts and opinions and gripes with this, in addition to the fact that Ford is producing or potentially going to release this Ford F-150 Thunder, which, if you know anything about the F-150 Thunder, essentially it should be a Lightning, and a Lightning F-150 or EV F-150 should just be an F-150. And instead of a Lariat, or instead of a Trimmer, or instead of a King Ranch, or instead of a Platinum, or instead of a Limited, or instead of a Roush, or whatever they want to call it, F-150, come up with your own terminology for the 100% battery powered EV version and leave Lightning alone. Leave Lightning for what it should be: an overpowered rear wheel drive, potentially supercharged, two-door beast, basically. A ridiculous truck that goes really, really fast for no apparent reason, but hey, it's fun. Now, the summary here, this article continues to say that several customers shared their experiences of misinformation and reluctance from dealers when trying to buy EVs. For example, Michael Young was incorrectly told by a salesperson that a BMW i3 couldn't exceed 45 miles per hour, and James Richards encountered salespeople who lacked knowledge about EVs, leading him to purchase a Tesla Model Y. Now, Tesla has a completely different business model. I haven't actually ever experienced it, so now that I think about it, when I go back to Atlanta next week, I'm going to visit a Tesla store, probably inside or at Avalon. I think that'll be the most convenient, probably Avalon. Just kind of see what it's like, the knowledge and expertise of the sales people there. But the other thing is that, honestly, this is a role, this is a job that, if you look at it from the standpoint of Tesla and Elon Musk, will eventually be made obsolete and eliminated, deleted, replaced with AI, robots, droids, technology. And additionally, I usually get most of my car information from reading, from Jalopnik, from other trusted sources, and YouTube car content creators and car reviewers. There's a handful out there that I trust, and I would literally go buy a car without ever driving it based on their thoughts and opinions and videos and reviews. And that's the direction we're going, folks. It's the power of the internet. And also it says that the reluctance of dealers to sell EVs is attributed to unfamiliar technology, lower profit margins, there's key, and slower sales. A survey by the Sierra Club found that 66% of dealerships didn't have an EV for sale, and 30% said that they wouldn't offer EVs even if they could. Selling EVs often requires more time and effort, leading to lower commissions for salespeople. I've said this before. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but essentially there's a huge rub, and they're butting heads here. There's conflict. The manufacturers are going to win. Okay. I'm going to call it right now. The manufacturers are going to win. The dealers are going to lose. The consumer hangs in the balance, especially if the consumer, depends. It depends. I'm not on the EV boat. I don't know if I ever will be. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. For the consumer who is on the EV boat and doesn't mind ordering from Tesla or from Canoe or from Lucid or from whoever's out there or will be out there, they should be perfectly fine. Now, the support network and system of dealerships and service stations and things like that, not to mention the charging grid network, to be determined. But as long as I can buy gasoline, I guess at the very, very worst case scenario, I'll continuously always buy gas powered, diesel powered, internal combustion engine, ICE vehicles. And I would just say, if the deadline's 2032 or if the deadline's 2040 or whatever the deadline is, if that's the deadline, then after that point, I will never own another new car again because I'll just continuously buy pre-owned used vehicles that run on dinosaur juice, basically. But lastly, here it says that despite these challenges, some dealerships are trying to adapt. For instance, a Ford dealer president mentioned that their sales staff are undergoing training to sell EVs. However, progress has been slow, with only a dozen electric cars sold so far. A law professor specializing in the law and economics of dealers at the University of Michigan summed up the situation by saying dealers want to remain the gatekeepers and are resistant to changing their sales model. So you got that. In addition to a lot of these U.S. American car manufacturers, they don't have a ton of EVs produced. For instance, like how Tesla has been pumping them out for years. They just don't have it. So it's automatically going to create the scarcity and inability to sell in comparison to non-EVs. But I did go to Fort Walton Mercedes the other day, and I was thoroughly impressed with the knowledge of the salesperson there. And I'll put a link in the description down to the video where you can be the judge and let me know what you think. But what I also learned was that Mercedes provides and requires extensive amounts of training and continuing education to be in that position. And they're going to do that for the future of Mercedes, which obviously we know is going electric, no doubt about it. So that's, one manufacturer that I think is going to be ahead of the curve in regard to their dealerships being and their salespeople being well versed. BMW as well. And I believe Porsche too. Porsche has training as well. The big three, maybe they need to up their game on training, but then it also comes down to the status level of the dealership and the requirement of not just a warm body who can fog a mirror and convince somebody or trick somebody into buying something that they may not necessarily want, but more so an industry expert who is going to help customers make well-informed decisions about a quality product if they know what they're selling and if they can explain to the customer what they're buying, if in fact that is what they have for sale. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later.